When people talk about the archaeological site of Knossos, they often refer to it as the Palace of Knossos. But the word palace is a little bit misleading because this here behind me was not just a palace, it was a place where a lot of different ceremonial and processional things were carried out. It wasn't just the home of the king and the queen. I want to take you into the central courtyard, which was kind of like the nerve center, the center of this complex, and tell you a little bit about it. I'm standing on the northern edge of this huge courtyard. It was surrounded on four sides by the four different wings of the palace. So we've got on this side, we've got the east wing. The east wing goes down this slope. It was where the queen's apartments were, and it led all the way down to a very small river at the base there that communicated with the sea. The sea is to the north. So here we are looking north, looking towards the Mediterranean Sea. This is the north wing of the courtyard. All that you see in color has been restored, all those columns. This is the west wing here that includes this structure here, inside of which is what's known as the throne room. I've done videos about that in my Crete playlist. And then finally, we've got the south wing down there. So this was a huge complex. It had 1,500 rooms, and surrounding the complex was the town of Knossos, which 1700 BC, 3,700 years ago, had a population of about 30,000 people. It was a massive town. It was a very, very important town. It's considered, of course, to be the first civilization, the cradle of European civilization. And interestingly, about 1,000 years later, the whole myth of the Minotaur and the Labyrinth and Ariadne and Theseus and King Minos and so on was developed by the ancient Greeks. It wasn't the Minoans themselves who developed these myths. It was subsequent generations of Greeks who most likely had seen the remains of this palace, understood that this was a huge civilization, a complex place, and they couldn't imagine that this was a palace, but they thought this must have been something like a labyrinth with its 1,500 rooms. So they came up with these myths.